Hi there, my name is Keith Russell. I am a realtor with Ozark Empire Realty here in Lebanon, Missouri, also serving Lake of the Ozarks. I wanted to make this video because I'm seeing a lot of misinformation about the recent lawsuit that has come down against the National Association of Realtors. This misinformation has been texted to me from different friends, different family, but you also see it on the evening news. Our local evening news, just to name one, KY3, said that the 6% rate is now going away. Let me begin by saying that the 6% rate is not fixed. It has never been fixed, at least not in the last several decades. The National Association of Realtors does not allow price fixing collusion. That rate has always been negotiable. Matter of fact, you can go back and look at different deals that I've done in the last 2 years of being a realtor and seeing that every deal might have different things. The reason why a rate is charged is because you've got to cover your errors and omissions insurance, things like that, your brokerage fees, and of course, you got to get a paycheck yourself. But let's begin by saying that 6% is not fixed. Everything is negotiable. And so what is happening now is you're seeing the lawsuit based upon buyer's agency. This buyer's agency, on every transaction, you've got a seller's side and a buyer's side. And so as a listing agent, it is your job to get the most money possible for your client and also at the best terms. And so the deal that you end up selecting, the offer that you end up choosing to go with, it oftentimes may not be the highest dollar amount, but it may be the best terms. Whether that be a quick closing time, whether that be a lack of inspections, whether that be lack of appraisal or the ability to cover an appraisal gap. There's lots of things in there that can determine whether or not you are choosing to go with offer A over offer B and vice versa. And so that's the listing side. The buying side is you're trying to get the best deal for your client at the best terms possible there. And so that covers everything from inspections, negotiation, to getting problems fixed because I'm here to tell you every house does have problems. And so you'll it is your job to get the best deal for your buyer as possible. You are working for them. You're not working for the seller as a buyer's agent, just like the listing agent is not looking for the buyer. And so it's important to have a buyer's agent and a listing agent in each transaction because that avoids what they call dual agency, where you have one agent working for both. In that instance, it's very difficult to separate what the needs of the listing client is and what the needs of the buying client is. And so it's hard to get the best deal for both if you're negotiating in the middle because I may know that the list seller does not want to go below $180,000 and the buyer may be willing to pay 195, but we're trying to find the middle of the road here. And if I know everyone's secrets, it's hard to negotiate in good faith without giving up all the secrets. So that leads us into buyer's agency. This is what that lawsuit was circling around quite often because what you see a lot of agents either A, not getting a signed buyer's agency contract, or B, not explaining really what buyer's agency is. Buyer's agency, I just explained to you, it's where I am working in your best interest as the buyer. And so, with this buyer's agency, it fully details exactly how you're going to get paid and how much you're going to get paid. It is signed and agreed upon before you start looking at houses. And now, why is this important? This is important not only one, because it protects you as the realtor, it protects your paycheck. And last time I checked, that's kind of important. And so it also sets forth what you're going to do as the realtor working for your client. It sets forth how you can get fired by your client if you're not doing the job duties that you outlaid in this buyer's agency contract that you would be doing. And so it goes into whether you're going to get a flat fee, whether you're going to get a percentage, what that flat fee is, what that percentage is. And once again, guys, that's negotiable. And so it's not set in stone. And not only that, but sometimes you may have to negotiate your percentage or your fee even after a contract is on the property in order to keep it together in uh, inspection negotiations and things like that. It's common. It's happened to me a few times in the last couple years. And so, once again, everything is negotiable. Now, what you're seeing here is you used to have people saying, oh, well, you can hire me as your buyer's agent. It won't cost you anything. I work for you for free. That's not true, guys. There's no such thing as a free lunch. That's Econ 101 right there. And so, no such thing as a free lunch. You are never going to work for free. The kicker is, in the past, the listing side has been paying the buyer side commission. Now, let's just put it this way. Here's why buyer's agent has always been important and will always be important. What if it's a FSBO? And by FSBO, I mean for sale by owner. And so, if it's not listed on the MLS through another real estate office with cooperating agreements to pay another agent should they bring a buyer, and it is a for sale by owner, then you're negotiating your own payment anyway. So if you're trying to sell your house at 200,000 and you say, "Look, guys, I'm not going to pay a realtor. If you want to buy this house and you've got a realtor, that's fine. I ain't paying them." Then they bring you 200,000, and whatever that buyer's agency fee is that we said, let's just say it's 5 grand. Then you, the buyer, still owe me 5 grand. So you'd have 200,000 plus the 5,000 for a total of 205. Now, can we get that negotiated into where they pay it anyway? Possibly. Some people will, some people won't. Some people do a portion of it. Some people will just say, hey, you know what? I'm not wanting to do it. You're on your own. If you want this house, you got this house. And so that is why buyer's agency is important to have a signed contract before you go looking at houses, because that way you're covered as the real estate agent, as the realtor. You're covered no matter if it's a property listed on the MLS or whether it is a FSBO. So that's important. What you're seeing is a lot of people in the past have not been getting that done. And so then they're telling people that, hey, we work for free for you. We're the buyer's agent. Well, now what happens if the there is no cooperating agreement? What happens if it is a FSBO? Those kind of things become a problem. And so if you're doing what you should be doing as a properly trained realtor, then that's not a problem anyway, guys. Nothing really changes. And so I say that to say that in reality, they're making a big deal out of nothing, because buyer's agency has been around since the early 90s. You literally have realtors out here working that are younger than what the buyer's agency is, at least in the state of Missouri. Every state operates a little bit differently. So if you're watching this from a state that's not Missouri, then look up your state laws in relation to that, or better yet, talk to your realtor. And so nothing really changes a whole lot. You've got to do the proper steps ahead of time, disclose what you're going to do, what your role is in the transaction, how you're going to take care of your client, and everything will be fine. Now, what they are changing is now you can't see what the buyer's agency commission would be on the local MLS. And so if I look up, 123 Lane in Lebanon, Missouri, it would normally show me, okay, well, if I bring a buyer to this, it's going to pay me 2%, 2.5%, 3%, whatever that percentage is. I know this up front, and I know, hey, they're willing to pay me. That's not a problem. Now, with them not being able to display that on the MLS, if I'm going to look at a property, I need to make that call to the listing agent to find out, are you willing to pay a buyer's agent? Because if that answer is no, then, and I charge, say, 2% because the math is easy on a $100,000 property, if they say no, they're not willing to pay a buyer's agent, then I need to be able to tell my client ahead of time, up front, hey, whenever we go to look at this property, it's not $100,000, it's $102,000 because they're not willing to pay me. So therefore, it falls back to the default buyer's agency contract that you've already signed that says now you are paying me. And so I hope that this makes a little bit of difference in what you're thinking, and I hope it gives a little bit of insight as to how the process actually works. Because at the end of the day, this lawsuit doesn't really change much of anything for the realtors such as myself that have been doing things the proper way the entire time. Now, would it possibly change some things to the realtors that um, may not be doing things the proper way the entire time? Yeah, it could. Um, do I think some realtors are going to drop out because they don't take the time to educate themselves on the fact that nothing really changes? Yeah, it very well could. But at the end of the day, that is why it is important to vet the professional that you are utilizing to assist you with the one of the, if not the largest transactions that you will have in your life. And so take that time, make sure that the person you're using is educated, trained, and doing things the right way, and your transaction will go a lot smoother. But don't listen to Jim Bob down the road that says, oh, well, now 6%'s gone. They can't charge 6% anymore. Well, yes, actually, they still can. We still can charge 6%. We can charge 50%, 100%, whatever that percentage is, because it is negotiable. Now, obviously, you're never going to get someone to list it for 50%, 100%, whatever. But I'm just throwing those wildly outrageous numbers out there as an example. But pay attention, guys. Do your research, get informed, talk to a professional that knows the subject matter and can articulate what is going on and assist you with your purchase, and everything will be fine. The sky is not falling, the sun is shining. It's a great day for real estate here in the Missouri Ozarks. If you need assistance, give me a call. My number has been right here for the past, I don't know, 12, 13, 14 minutes.